Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Very funny. Good morning. Welcome to the Board of Commissioner meeting. Today is March 26, 2025. And we're glad everybody's here today. We don't have a lot of business items. We just want to make sure that people know that if you come up to the podium, that you give your name, if you address us. And for the record, also our meeting is being live streamed. And for those online, welcome. Let's see, are there any awards, recognitions, or correspondence?
I don't think I got any awards.
Our first item of business, approval of minutes from the previous meeting. And the minutes were March 12th, 2025.
So moved. Oh, second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Are there any additions to the agenda? Recognizing any visitors? I don't see any today.
There is one online.
And we do have one online. Good morning.
Good morning. Are you talking to the S?
I'm talking to you. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Sue Oliver, and I just wasn't ready to be on camera this morning.
Well, that's okay. We're glad you're here. Welcome.
Well, thank you. And I was interested in making a public comment. I just wasn't quite sure how that fit into your agenda items. So if there's time and there's a moment, I would like to do that, please. Thank you.
Okay. Well, if you would like to speak now, that'd be great. Just give us your name and your address, and then we're ready to hear what you have to say.
Well, thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the commission. My name is Sue Oliver. I reside at 74442 Froberg Lane. This is outside of Oregon. I'm actually in Morrow County, not Umatilla County. I'm requesting here today, and I'm sorry I didn't make a formal request, but I am visiting basically the boards for each member of the signatory parties of the 2014 intergovernmental agreement concerning the Columbia Development Authority. I attended their meeting yesterday, and I attended their meeting the month before. And it's very frustrating that the signatory parties to this agreement need to, my request is that you review that agreement, the requirements of that agreement, and start giving instructions to your representative to that board to start fixing things. There seems to be at the moment only one member of the board from the tribes that is actually pushing to start putting in processes and procedures in place to avoid the situation they're in now going forward in the future. And so I am just coming before each board that's a signatory to that 2014 agreement and ask you to review that, discuss it with your representative to that board. This needs fixed, and they seem to just be going forward. The response I received, a formal response for an agenda request to the Morrow County Commission, was that since there's so much litigation going on, they can't talk about it. And I disagree. And I believe Commissioner Schaefer was at the meeting yesterday, and I have the same comment there. There is a lot of things that could be done right now that would have no impact on litigation that they need to start working on. So I am asking you as a board to consider adding that as an agenda item, have your staff review that governmental agreement. For example, that board is required to give you an annual report. I haven't started delving into whether or not you've ever received an annual report, but I'm suspecting not.
Actually, we did receive
Okay,
one last
great.
year, and we'll receive another one this year.
But there are definitely requirements in that IGA that are not being met, including the requirement to have regular meetings once a quarter. A lot of those things could be fixed relatively simply. Geez, we could take a template of some bylaws and get a regular meeting schedule, a regular election procedure, which they also don't follow. And I'm sorry, I know I'm going on too long you're not used to having, what I'm finding as I'm trying to become more visible is I'm taking Senator Merkley's advice and getting involved and watching and trying to hold our elected officials accountable. You volunteered to be elected. Some of you get paid, some of you don't, but every commission, I thank you for being willing to do this stuff. But I'm with it comes taking some bullets, and it's very clear to me a lot of this seems to be about personal relationships. And as I try to explain to people, none of this is personal to me. I'm very upset with Commissioner Winholtz in the Morrow County Commission. He also happens to be my neighbor that I wave at every other day. This is the world we live in. To me, it's business is business, politics is politics, but this is basic following Oregon state law. That board is required by that IGA to follow public meeting law, to basically conduct all their financial business in accordance with the rules that apply to everybody. So I am asking you to take a hard look at that, and I will be back to probably ask again as I try to hit every one of these meetings coming up. Thank you for your time, and I'll be quiet now.
Well, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate that. Thank you. Any comments? All right, thank you. So we'll move into our business items. First, number one is a gate permit.
Okay, the item before you is a great gate permit, an application received from property owners to install up to 3 gates on Ross Road. This has been reviewed by the road department. They are at the application and are in support of the gates. There would be 3 installed, 2 interior and then 1 on the intersection with Ross.
And all the, everybody that's impacted by these gates, they've all signed off.
Yes, all of the property owners have signed the application.
Any discussion or
Move.
motion?
I'd move for approval. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Sheriff's Office payment video.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Littlefield, Undersheriff at the Sheriff's Office, coming to you today with a request to renew our Portico Wellness app. And coincidentally, the renewal of the app is concurrent with First Responders Wellness Week. And so we sent Doug a video. Can you play the video? I brought a special guest today named Gordon Graham, and he has like a little 2-minute video about First Responder Wellness Week. John knows Gordon Graham.
Do you guys know this guy? Okay.
So, as Mr. Graham has said, we've, since about 2022, we've had this app that is a 24/7, 365 phone app where our staff has access to resources as part of our wellness program. This is a part of it, as well as our chaplaincy program. We have peer support groups that are in the area in case of traumatic events. So every year we asked Cortico, the company that provides the app, and it's a division of Lexipol. And Gordon Graham is one of the founders of Lexipol. So we asked them to give us our usage data for the year. And from previous years, we've known that our engagement rate with our staff is about 70 to 75%. So that means that about 75% of our staff are engaged in the app in some way. It's anonymous, so we don't know who logs in or who visits the various modules on the app. But again, as an overview, it's an extensive app. They have several topics, career wellness, emotional wellness, family wellness, financial wellness, health, leadership, mindfulness, nutrition, on and on and on, sleep and trauma, physical fitness, of course, and peer support. And so primarily our staff are engaged in emotional and mental wellness. Either they or visit those sections in the app, or they take, there's also self-assessments where they can answer some questions to see how they're doing, essentially. So we have some good engagement, and again, we want to renew the app. It's a $15,000 annual cost, but it's in our budget. A couple of years ago, we placed it in our various main division budget, so it'll come out of there. It's already budgeted for. But we think it's valuable, and we continue to promote wellness, as everybody in law enforcement should, and we just want to renew that app again.
I always think, every time I hear Gordon Graham's name, I always think of his catchphrase: if it's predictable, if it's preventable, it's predictable, it's preventable. That's, he always says that, and this kind of goes hand in hand with that. I mean, we already know that there's a higher risk for mental health issues, physical health issues for first responders. So it's predicted. Now we can prevent it. So
And that's what we're certainly trying to do.
I think it's been a great program. I remember we had the presentations 3 years ago or 4 years ago when we first started this bolt-on. My question is more goes back, how many bolt-ons or how many flexible segments do we have now? Total.
Our policy manual is through Lexipol, and then we also purchased what's called a daily training bulletin. And it's actually what it says it is.
Yeah, no, I like that too.
It's designed as a 6-minute training on various aspects of public safety and law enforcement. It goes along with the items in our policy manual. So what our staff does is they'll log in and they'll take, there's a scenario, there's a question about the scenario, and then an answer, and then you go on to the next one. And so another one of Gordon Graham's saying is that you train a lot. If you train for 6 minutes every day, that's a little bit, but it's a lot of time, and it goes throughout the year. And so once our staff completes that on an annual basis, it's worth 36 hours of training with DPSST. And it's broken into segments. I think about 6 hours is use of force training, and the rest is agency policy. So it keeps the staff engaged in our policy manual, and like anything else, you have to know the rules of the game to play it well. So we have that. And then the Cortico app. So our products from Lexipol are the policy manual, the daily training bulletin, and the Cortico app.
My question, Jim, is maybe it's a better question for Stern, but could we get Lexipol so that we look at one bill one time? Because we get each one of these individual bills kind of throughout the year. And in some ways it's good because you get to see what's going on.
Sure.
But I think it would be easier for you guys, easier for us, and maybe even finance if we could get it all into one package.
Yeah, certainly I can check with the renewal dates.
I know they're all
The
different,
policy
but
manual are maybe different than the Lexipol or than the Cortico app, but I can talk to the service rep and see if we can get that closer, or maybe in the same.
I'm not sure
Get
if
them
that's
bundled.
okay with finance, as long as it isn't, because I know, like you just mentioned, each division is going to pay a little bit different. pay the share, so.
Not sure,
Yeah, so I didn't know if that was gonna be, if that would mess finance up or not by doing it that way.
I just think they're on maybe different billing cycles, so
I think
maybe we
it's a
can get them to shorten that up a little bit.
Just trying to keep it in one package and bundle it.
They have great customer service. That's another reason why we like them. So,
Yeah.
they're really responsive to our requests, and so maybe they can work with us on that.
I'd never heard of them until I became a commissioner, and I've been overly impressed with everything they do. So,
Yeah, he's fantastic. I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
and good luck this evening. Hopefully the county stays together.
Let's see, the AWERE Grant.
I'll take this one, unless you wanted to do it.
Tough off.
He's in.
Oh, that's an interview.
So WEIR is the Athena Weston Education Resource Enhancement Grant Committee. As you know, I'm on that committee. We met on March 12th to review the grant requests for a total of $79,000 that was available this year in the 25 cycle. We had one application, and the WEIR Grant Committee recommends to the board that we approve $79,000 in the funding of the Athena Weston School District for completion of the Land Lab swine barn project. And this does meet the qualifications. We had that, and the other thing we did was we granted an extension for the track lighting due to materials not being available. So, with that, I would move that we approve the funding recommendations for the 2025 AWERE grants.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any comments? Question?
I do have a quick comment. I just want to say, I mean, this, and there, we've got a press release going out too that Bob Walder put together. Basically, this is probably going to be the last time of the cycle. I mean, the funds are kind of dwindling slowly over the years. We think that this is probably the end, but we've done some amazing things in our communities that we've never been able to do, including the new restoration of the track at the West McEwen High School. It has that nice track now. The swimming pool there in Athena. Weston's got some pickleball courts, some building restorations that would not have been possible had it been for AWERE and our partnership with the wind generating facilities.
Any more comments? Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Fair forklift.
I can take that one. The Fair Board is asking to purchase a used forklift. It's going to be in the range of $40,000. They did go out and kind of get some estimates from different equipment suppliers. Just for history's sake, that past forklift was donated by the PBC company in Umatilla 17 years ago. So we got a lot of use out of that forklift, but with the new building and the new area of storage, that forklift, even if we still had it, wouldn't be the correct type of forklift because it's not a reach forklift. This forklift will also move back and forth between the two grounds pretty regularly for probably 7 months out of the year. And right now we're looking to go out, or they are looking to go out with a very quick RFP to identify an available forklift. If that's for approval.
I'd second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Okay, with that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I guess I did have a quick comment. I'm anxious to hear how much it's going to be. I know that the amount is more than, it'll be interesting to see what it comes in at.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's something that would probably be. Budget committee appointment.
The matter before the board is appointment to the Umatilla County Budget Committee. One of our members that has been serving for the last 3 years did not want to get reappointed. And so that left the vacancy. After some investigation, the recommendation is to appoint Mike Flemmer to the Budget Committee.
Knowing Mike and knowing his history of finances, both in the agriculture and the health industries, I would definitely move for it.
I'll second that. I got very minute glance into his background, and I think we would like to have this gentleman.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Emotional support animal.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Blake, Human Resources. I'm here on behalf of Dan Premise, District Attorney Dan Premise, who is requesting the county authorize a policy for an emotional support animal for victims of crime. I have the pleasure of accompanying Dan at a tour of EOCI prison, where we got to see a demonstration on the animals that they train, kind of creating a full cycle moment for the adults in custody to, give back to the community in a way with an emotional support animal that would in this particular instance be for victims.
Obviously, this is not a victim of a crime instance, but my son, as you know, has been in the hospital for the last couple of days, and they actually brought in an emotional support dog in the hospital, which I thought, I was shocked that they could do that, but they said, no, that's fine, and like, okay, and I'm just seeing the level of anxiety drop in Matthew. I was shocked. It blew me away. I mean, he's a big animal guy, so it shouldn't have shocked me as much as it did, but it really did shock me. So I think, and seeing, knowing, some of the people who've been victims of traumatic crimes, there's you can see these dogs that are very well trained, and they just put their head in the person's lap, and then the person can kind of focus on the dog a little bit and take the mind off of the trauma that they've been experiencing. I think this is a fantastic program, and I applaud you and our district attorney for bringing this forward. So I'd make a motion to approve.
I 100% agree with everything you said. But I support.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I do have a comment. Reading through the paperwork, it sounds like that there's going to be quite a connection between the DA and the dog. And I think that's with that, any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Motion.
A little jealous that you got to go do that, though, by the way.
I'm hoping to get to do it again, and I was just standing here thinking about Under Sheriff Littlefield's presentation for the Cortico app and wellness of officers and that sort of thing. And that app is not available to other county employees that aren't of the sheriff's office. And this, I think, will also be a way for our employees of the district attorney's office, and including the district attorney himself, to deal with some of this stresses and the trauma that goes along with the work that they do. So.
Thank you.
For the good of the order.
Comment is prayers with the county and the whole region tonight. It looks like this storm that's rolling in is to cause some pretty serious havoc. It has moved north a little bit, but in the last 4 hours, it's moved north and south several times. So and it's going to be a challenge this evening. We've met with emergency management preparation, and he's reached out to some of the cities, or several of the cities, especially the river-based ones. But my biggest worry is going to be down power lines and trees across roads. Everything Everybody stay safe.
Flying today, you know,
You're early.
every single time.
It might be
Gosh.
bumpy.
Maybe bumpy, okay.
I agree with everything he said. So.
With that, meeting adjourned.
30 minutes.